Hello, my fellow Snarkatarians. What's up? It's Jess. Thank you for joining me. I am super excited. I had an idea today and I'm starting it. I decided that this is the time of year. It's summertime. What's the best thing that you can think of after a hard day at work or a hard week at work? It's nice outside. It's getting darker much later. Summer is literally officially right around the corner. I like to make myself a little drink or have a little glass of wine and sit out on the porch or the deck with my partner or a friend or myself and just have a nice little sip of something. So this is the first in a series of videos I like to call cocktails and cosmetics, or lippies and sippies, or lashes and libations. If you have any other titles that you would like to throw out there, please leave them in the comments. I would love to hear them, and maybe one of these following videos will have that. I apologize for not uploading any videos this past weekend. I was hit really hard with the fibromyalgia attack. It was the strangest one that I've ever had. I deal with it occasionally, maybe 2 to 3 times a year. It's really not that bad, but the attacks have kind of been harsh this year. But anyway, I will link that above, and if you're interested in some of my experiences with fibromyalgia, you can certainly check that out. But a few weeks ago, Matt and I went to one of our favorite restaurants in town, and they have a pretty cool bar menu, kind of custom cocktail sort of things. Now, I don't know if this is something that's actually out there, a certain cocktail. They have fantastic margaritas, but the one thing that really caught my eye was this drink called Texas Ranch Water. Doesn't look like much. There really isn't much in there, but I really like it. It's basically a margarita without the triple sec or like the sweetness. So what it is basically juice from a lime, mineral water, and tequila. And so I am going to show you how to make that. If you have the ingredients or are interested, certainly make that and sip with me while I put on makeup. And the makeup I'm going to do today, my last video I did with my friend Sarah, it was a bag swap. One of the things she mentioned was that she likes watching people do affordable faces, like full makeup faces of affordable cosmetics. And I was thinking about it, and there's one line that I really, really like that I use quite often. Some of my holy grails are part of this line. And I'm like, I think I could 97% do an entire face of BH cosmetics. I have all kinds of stuff. You can get it at Ulta. You can get it on their website, and they always have sales going on their website. It's usually 30% or 15%, or, you know, they have clusters of things like a makeup brush set and one of their palettes. They're so reasonable. Every time I think they're putting out better quality things. They do a lot of collabs with YouTube and Instagram creators and influencers, which I think is really cool. I have brushes, I have foundation, I have eyeshadow palettes. And I thought it would be pretty cool to do my first cocktails and cosmetics and do a little drink making, a little bartendering, and then a little makeup application with BH Cosmetics. Hey. So if you haven't already, subscribe. It's cool. Be a cool kid. I like it when you do. Leave comments. And you know what? I'm actually filming this at the end of the video, so whatever happened here and whatever happened here, I'm blaming it on the tequila. So why don't we go into the kitchen? I'm going to show you how to make some Texas Ranch Water, and then we're going to put some stuff on my face. So enjoy. Okay, so I'm all set up with my items here for the Texas Ranch Water. All you need is a lime, easy enough. Some Pellegrino, some sparkling mineral water, and, you know, some tequila of your choice. The other thing that is very important to have is tahine. And what is tahine? Basically, it's a staple that you find in a Mexican grocery store. It's a seasoning, basically, and what's in it is chili pepper, sea salt, and dehydrated lime juice. So everything's dehydrated and kind of ground into the seasoning. And I put some on a plate here. And what I'm going to do, ooh, I need my juicer. Make some noise. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to roll my lime. Kind of get those juices flowing, so to speak. I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm also going to cut a tiny little sliver just so I can kind of rim the glass for the tahine. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to go in the plate here and try and grab some of the tahine, get a nice coating. That's good. I'm going to get some ice. Ice is very important. All right, so I got my ice. I'm going to go ahead and juice my limes into the glass. The great thing about tahine is that you can, use it as I am using it here, rimming a glass with it. It's great with a regular margarita. It's great with a cantarita if you're familiar with that. It's also really good on Bloody Marys. And the other thing is it's great on fruit. Fantastic with watermelon. Sprinkle a little bit on top of that. They're good on pineapple. It's good on orange slices. And it's probably really good on like mango ice cream or like Rita's water ice or something like that. So this is a great staple to have for drinks, for some food, just to kick up the flavor a notch. This stuff is great. All right, so I got my lime juice. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little ounce of tequila. Tequila of your choice. I go in my sparkling water, mineral water. And I like Pellegrino because, it's not Perrier where they have a lot of the flavorings, the citrus flavor. You just want plain sparkling water. Fill it up and give it a little stir. And that's all this is. Again, this is a Texas ranch water. It is basically a margarita without the sweet, without the agave, without the margarita mix. And it is delightful and refreshing. So now, it's time to do some makeup. I am back. I am enjoying my beverage. It's delicious. Highly recommend it. So, if you have the ingredients and you made it and are sipping along with me, that's awesome. So, I love summertime. I think I mentioned that before. Get the tahine off my face here. We are discussing BH Cosmetics. I have enough makeup here, like I said, to do pretty much a full face. The only things I don't have are a primer, a concealer, and mascara. Everything else I pretty much have. I really like this brand. I think they're very reasonable. I think their products are really nice, and I feel like they've only improved over time. The first shadow palette I got, the quality is there. Oh, that's annoying. But I feel like the next one I got that I'm going to use today has really bumped it up. The great thing about BH Cosmetics, I think, is because although you can't find it in the drugstore, it is affordable. Their website always has some kind of sale going on. As a matter of fact, a few months ago, they have like a face sale. So it's like foundation, concealer, and it was like bronzer, powders, things like that. It was 50% off. And I didn't know which shade I was in the foundation, so I ended up getting 2 for $9 total. Not $9 for each. They were $4.50 a piece. And I got a couple of the eyebrow pencils. The HD Studio Pro eyebrow pencil is probably my go-to holy grail eyebrow pencil. I really only had one sip of this drink, so I guess I gotta catch up. So I had seen on their website that they had a somewhat newer foundation. This is the BH Liquid Foundation, Naturally Flawless. This is shade 204, Natural Beige. And then this is a little darker. This is 208, Medium Beige. So I'm really neither of those colors. The light beige, Natural Beige is way too light. This is a little too dark. So I do like to mix them. And I think I get a really nice shade with those two mixed. It is a very dewy, a very illuminating, a very glossy foundation, which is right up my alley, I think, for my dry skin and for older skin. So I am going to go in, I think I'm going to take more of the light color. It is a pump. It's in like a frosted glass bottle. And take my palette. It is very thick. A little goes a long, long way. It's almost kind of like wormy when it comes out. That's gross. Oh, it's still coming out. Okay. Well, hello. Join the party. BYOB. So as you can see here, It is very thick. It's not going anywhere as much as I try. Do you like the background? Do you like the more natural background? More natural. Not the scrim or the sheet or whatever. I like it. Just because I'm lazy right now and I don't feel like getting the sheet out. And I do have the door open. It is quite toasty in here today. I hate putting the air conditioning on. I will leave it off for as long as humanly possible. I'm just going to use a damp makeup sponge and press this in, but it is a nice, it's very similar to the Flower Beauty Illuminating Foundation, and I have that too, and I use the light color of this with the Flower Beauty Foundation and mix that together, and man, it's quite something. I would say this is probably medium coverage, but it is very dewy, very dewy. You can still see my pimples here. A little bit of redness. Like I said, it's thick. You don't need a lot, but they had to build it very much. We'll see how it's building. It's a little better. I could probably go with a darker color by itself at this point because it is summertime, just about. What the hell is that? I had tahini on my lip. I do not have powder. I am not going to powder. I'm going to remain quite dewy and glowy for the rest of this. We're going to go in. Like I said, I don't have a concealer in the BH line. Holy crap. BH Cosmetics line. So I'm just going to go in with my good old Pacifica concealer. The mineral concealer. I love this stuff. I think it has really decent coverage. I think, you know, it's definitely going to get in my creases. That's just the way things go. But I'd rather have it crease than look dry and cakey. I cannot deal with. But I did do a bag swap with my friend Sarah in my last video. If you missed it, I will link it. And I had her use the Royal Affair palette, which I will be using on my eyeballs today. And I really like it. I'm going to try and use a couple different colors. I got this little summer dress on that is quite bright, and is it chartreuse? Is that what it is? Highlighter color, and I'm going to use it as a color that's kind of similar to that. I'm going to give that a try. It's not something that is usually in my wheelhouse as far as colors go, but we're going to give it a try. One of the first things I got early on is the Nude Blush 10 color blush palette. I think this was like $10. You get 10 blushes in here. They really kind of range the gamut from like peachy light. There's like colors in here that are good for bronzing, for contouring, for sculpting. There's like a goldish, shimmery kind of highlighter in here for darker skin. I tend to gravitate towards, I don't think that tequila is kicking in yet, but it certainly sounds like it is. I've never really used these. I guess you could use these for under eye powders or some kind of powders. Kind of a dark, peachy color. I don't know. They're a little bit more skin tone than what I would consider blushes. But I guess if you're super pale, if you're super light, these would work nicely as little neutral colors. But I do like the corals. I like the peaches. One is a little shimmery. So we'll use that. But I'm going to go in with... I have BH Cosmetics brushes too, and I think they're really nice. I'm going to go in with a number 4 brush, and I think I'm just going to use one of these darker colors and maybe sculpt out a little bit here. I do have my bronzer that I absolutely love from them that I will use a little later, but we'll see if we can use this as a sculpting color. See, this pulls super red. Nope. The answer is no. This was probably a mistake. Oh. That's like Annie Lennox. Maybe this isn't the best shade for contour. In the pan, it looks really kind of brown. Warm, but brown. It pulls super... Oh, that's precious. Let's get this guy out and blend a little bit. We're talking like 80s Annie Lennox. Sweet dreams are made of these. But, you know, once you're in it, you know, you're going to go for it. Go hard. Go hard or go home. Note to self, this is not a bronzer color. So we're going to put this away for now. But I do like the blushes. I'll go back to this for the blush, that little corally, pinky peachy color. I will certainly use that. So we'll bronze up a little bit, see if we can cover it up. This is the Brilliance bronzer from BH Cosmetics. This is in Golden Gal. You've seen me use it. a gazillion times. If you're new to this channel, this is one of my holy grail ride or die bronzers. I love it. I'm going to go in with the BH Cosmetics #1 brush. This one I use for bronzer just because it's a little bit more rounded at the top as opposed to flat. See if we can change this color up a little bit, make it a little bit more bronzy. It's just makeup. It washes off. It's a little better, right? It's all right. I think after that, we're going to have to take a sip. Another one of my holy grail ride or dies, as I said earlier, is the Studio Pro HD Brow Pencil. It's just a super thin pencil. It is in medium. It is softer. It's a little more creamier. Some people don't like that. I think it's just fine and dandy. I am totally fine with that. I think it's easier to work with. I'm going to fast forward through this because it's eyebrows. It's the same thing I do every time. Nothing special. My arms are shaky though because I worked out before I did this, which was just a huge mistake. It was triceps and chest, and now my arms are super shaky. So between that and the tequila, I don't know where my eyebrows are going to be when I come back. Let's give it a try. I'm going to try and pull this in a little closer. So ladylike the way I'm sitting right now. Let's do this. I'm going to prop. I'm going to need to prop. After that, debacle. Yeah, looks like a solid, natural looking contour. I'm going to go in, like I said, with the Royal Affair palette. It has quite a few colors here, which are really nice. The mattes are great. There are some really cool shimmers in here. These are very metallic, like gold and silver and copper and bronze and things like that. There's some really crazy colors right here, and this blue is like a super duper surprise when I first swatched it. It's like an icy blue, but it has like a shift to it. It's almost like a purpley kind of shift to it. That's really kind of cool, and it's just very icy. But the metallics swatch really nice, and they're shimmery, and I like them. And like I said, oops, the mattes are super pigmented, and while they're pigmented, I find that they're nice and easy to build up. So I'm going to try and go in with this with a few colors that I don't normally go in with. So I do like their bigger fluffy brush. This is a little bit more tapered. This is their #5 brush. I guess they number, from each collection, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not like a Morphe is like M523 and Sigma E20, whatever. I'm going to incorporate Crown, which is a crazy like peridot color. Someday, I promise, I'm going to get a new camera where you can actually see swatches. I can put things up front here and you might be able to see it, and it'll, whatever. I think I'm going to start out with Emperor here in the crease. It's almost like a pumpkin spice. We'll go pumpkin spice. I am a warm neutrals bitch. So most likely that's what I will gear for. I'm not sure if Crown is going to work with warm neutrals, but as I said in the beginning, with this, it will wash off. And you can't learn if you don't try. All right, so I'm going to take a smaller brush, which is also tapered, and it kind of gets kind of nice in the crease a little bit better. This is the #6 brush. It's very similar to the #5 brush that I used. And I'm going to go in with Prince down here. Feel like, like I said, these blend really well. They don't seem to be patchy at all. Nice pigment that you can easily build up. They're not like so pigmented that you just, swipe it and it's, there. You can work at it a little bit. Now, what do I want to do? So now I think I'm going to go in with Aristocrat right here, which is almost like it's not really a yellow gold. It's more like the gold that's in the crayon boxes that's kind of brownish gold, kind of bronzy, but not as coppery. Sure. I used to think it would be fun to name Crayola crayons, and now no. I'm actually going to go in with my finger, I think, and pat that on the outer third of, or outer half of the lid. I'll just take that all over it, the lid, just for shits and giggles, and then we can layer as we need to. And I think I'm going to go in with Monarch. I don't think I've ever used this color. It's a dark, like olive green color. And I'm going to take a number 9 brush. This has an angle to it, you can see. And I'm going to kind of pack that a little bit more in the outer corner. Ooh, got a lot of kick up with that. Give it a little smokier, dramatic effect. As much kickback as there was from that color, I don't see a lot of fallout, if any, of that color down below here. I like how the metallic is still kind of coming through that green. That's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and take the same one that I used, the darker color, the Prince, and just kind of blend that out a little bit more. I don't know what number this is. This is so tiny. I think it's a 17. This is also BH Cosmetics. This is their Studio Pro line. This is a nice thin brush, and I'm going to add a little bit more of that Emperor, the orangey color that I started with. I'm going to kind of bring that up and just kind of make sure that that color is still noticeable. Whoa. I like it. I actually don't think I'm going to go in with Crown, that Peridot green color. I think I'm going to use the Throne color. This is Icy Blue, and kind of put that on the inner corner. So since my concealer and stuff was not BH Cosmetics, I am going to go in. I'm going to go in. This is the Morphe M507. This is a great brush, a great tip. It's great for getting that inner corner and just kind of jamming that color right there in the corner of your eye. So I'm going to go in. This is this Throne color here that has a really cool shift. It's really hard to tell in the pan itself, but it's cool once it's on the skin. That just looks weird with that warm color scheme going on, but it's kind of cool. It's just a little unexpected pop. It's kind of a tale of ice and fire. That color is so cool. It's so cool. I don't know if it shows up as well as it does here. It's almost like opalescent, and it's so cool. I'm actually kind of glad I added it. It doesn't necessarily make sense, but I like it. So I'm going to go back in underneath with a little bit of the Monarch, the dark green, olive green under the eye. I literally cannot hold this arm up. It's so weak from working out. And then finally, not finally, almost finally, this is one that I can't even read the number on it because I use it constantly. It's basically a angled edge eyeliner or brow liner. I always use it for my eyes because I don't generally use eyeliner itself. I like to use the powder. So I'm going to go in with Enchanted, kind of a mix between Enchanted, which is pretty much a black, and then Monarch, that green that I used under the eyes as well. Can't say that this look really goes with my ensemble. It's not really super summery, but it's fun to play. And maybe the tequila's hitting me. I don't know. Drink. All right. And like I mentioned, the other thing I do not have from BH Cosmetics is a mascara. So I'm going to use my Ulta Beauty Legendary Lengths Lengthening Mascara. I am mesmerized by that opal color in my inner corner. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, yep, I did that. I went with it. It worked. I liked it. I do get a bit of transfer on my upper brow bone from the metallics on this, but I have hooded eyes. What are you going to do? Nothing. Put on your big girl pants and deal with it. And I am going to finish up with a little bit of blush and highlighter. I'm actually going to go back into the nude blush. I'm just going to use my bronzer brush. And I'm going to go into this color here. It doesn't have a name. Does it? No, it doesn't have a name. But it's a nice little, it's a matte kind of peachy color. Who is afraid of Virginia Woolf? I'm going to go into my Blush Neutrals eyeshadow palette. This is one of the first eyeshadow palettes that I got from BH Cosmetics, and it's very neutral. There, you know, as you can tell, there are quite a few pots of color in here. There are a lot of them that are very similar. But I can make a decent look out of it. You know, it's neutral. It's exactly what it is. Kind of blush neutrals. There's some purpley colors down here. Ish. Pops of coral and this bright pink that I don't think I've ever used. But I'm going to go down here. This is kind of a highlighty color, I guess. It's supposed to be used for a highlight. I'll give it a whirl. Maybe it's more for like an under eye. In which case, maybe we'll go in with one of the eyeshadow colors. This is more of like a gold champagne-y color. It's a little bold. We're gonna blame it on the tahine. For lips, maybe I'll grab my other one that's a little bit more neutral. I'll be right back. All right. So I think this neutral color is probably going to be a little better than the other color I was going to use. This is the Cashmere Cream from BH Cosmetics. I think I used this once before in one of my Get Ready With Me's. Again, I will link it up here. But this is a little bit more neutral. This is the color Tea. I will put this on. It is very like moussey, moussey creamy. And it's very close. What the hell? I keep getting tahini on my face. It's very close to the color of my lips anyway. It just makes them a little bit darker. But it's more on the satin side. But I like it. It's very creamy. Yeah, I'll probably have to reapply it a few times throughout the day. Let me just swatch this other one on my hand. What the hell is this one called? Shook. And this is quite a lovely color. It's pretty pigmented. You know, it's a quick swipe. And like I said, it stays on for a pretty decent time. So I think it was probably a better idea that I did use the tea color instead of the shook color, because I'm looking a little frightening right now. The cheeks are a little much. I'm going to go up and just kind of dry my hair a little bit and come down, and hopefully that'll tame this whole thing down a little bit. So I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back. This is the finished look. And for some reason, I feel like it looks a little bit harsher, even with my hair down, kind of covering this mess over here. So I will blame it on the tequila. But, you know, it's makeup. It's fun. This is the kind of thing that I wanted to do today. Just kind of sit down, have a little beverage with you guys, and play around with makeup and see what I could come up with. Like I said, I really like the BH Cosmetics line. They keep improving their formulas. Their prices stay very reasonable. You can use a lot. And I wanted to show you an affordable makeup line that can do this to your face. Okay. So if you enjoyed this kind of video, please give it a thumbs up. If you tried the beverage and enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. That would be really cool. Follow me on Instagram at the Pesky Snarkatarian. And like I mentioned before, if you're not subscribed already, why not subscribe and ring the bell, and it'll notify you of when I upload new content. Like I said, I try to upload on the weekend, once on the weekends, once a week right now. Please do your best to always stay snarky. Have a wonderful week, and sláinte. Skål. A saluti. Cheers.